Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to tonight's candidate forum. We titled it Hope for the Valley in hopes that we would offer what that title means, bring in some hope through the candidates that we have here. And so I'd like to offer a special thanks to our event coordinator tonight. Her name was Lynn Petersdorf. She's sitting right up here in the front. Thank you, Lynn, for all your hard work. We had such an overwhelming response to tonight's forum. We had, was it 9 or 10? 10 judicial candidates that said yes, kind of as the event was being planned. And we decided to go ahead and separate the two to give you all the candidates here tonight, ample time, and to make it really worth your time and your effort being here tonight. So we put that out on Hope for the Valley Facebook page. So if you're interested in watching that forum, it was live streamed at 4 o'clock, and the link is active at Hope for the Valley on YouTube. At Hope for the Valley, you'll see a symbol that looks just like the one up in the right corner of that screen. That is the YouTube channel. If you are on Facebook, you can actually go to Facebook right now, and you can share the link. Give me a few minutes as the media team gets things rolling, but that link will be provided here just after the start of the candidate forum right now, and it could be shared as many times as you'd like to. So that video will be replayed via the link there, so you can go and watch yourself. Candidates, you can go watch yourself again, or family, you can go back and critique them. Say the next time, this is what you do. So. But anyway, will you stand to your feet this evening? I'm used to saying morning, but thank you again for being here. I just want to do an invocation as we gather tonight. So Heavenly Father, we're grateful for this opportunity. Thank you for the willingness of the candidates to come and to answer truthfully. And thank you for just a night that we'll experience your peace, we'll experience your presence, and we'll walk out of here just understanding them a little bit better. That we can make a choice that would, again, bring hope to our cities, our county, and the surrounding areas. So we're grateful for tonight. Be with us, I pray. In Jesus' name, amen. Will you remain standing? We'll do the flag salute, and then we'll turn it over to our moderator. Ready? Salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. For those of you watching, again, feel free to share the link wherever you're at. Tonight is going to be moderated by Kevin Cookingham. I'm going to ask him to make his way forward. Kevin did an excellent job with the earlier forum. He's going to give a little instruction on what to expect tonight. Kevin.
Thank you. For those of you that are watching on through our live stream, as well as those that are here in person, I just want to give you a little bit of information as far as how this is going to work tonight. We're going to call up our candidates. There'll be one at the stand here with the microphone. There'll be another one that is on deck right over by Jose there, and he'll help you get on up the stairs there if you need a little help. And we will be asking the same questions of everybody because they apply to everybody. Everybody, whether you're running for a federal position, a state position, or a local position, they will apply to everybody. And then I will be rotating those questions so the same person isn't up here first where they don't have some time to kind of think about that answer. So tonight, I just want to introduce, maybe as I say your names, you could stand and or just raise your hand or stand so they can see your face, put a face to a name. And we will start off, by the way, with a 2-minute introduction where they'll come up here, tell you a little bit about what they're running for, give you 2 minutes as far as who they are and why they would like you to vote for them. And then each question, they will have 1 minute to answer. And then Lynn up front here, when they have 15 seconds left, she'll hold up the red 15-second sign. If they don't go down after that, she tackles them. So, starting off for United States Congress, the 21st District, Lorenzo Rios. Can you just raise your hand or stand up so they can see you? Also running for the 21st District, Kyle Kirkland. For State Assembly District 31, Jim Paulsgrove. For California State Senate 14th District, Darren DuPont. We have 4 people here for Fresno County Supervisor, District 4, Alma Beltran, Margaret Mims, Nick Sahota, and Charlie Soto. We have 3 candidates for Fresno County Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Johnny Alvarado, Dr. Michelle Cantwell-Kofer, and Dr. Amir O'Brien. At this time, we're going to have Lorenzo Rios up here at the stand with Kyle Kirkland on deck. 2-minute intro.
Why, thank you so much. Thank you, Pastor Quintana. Thank you, Kevin, for putting this together and organizing this. I'm Lorenzo Rios. I'm a father. I am an immigrant to this United States, and I'm a proud American. I'm a dad of 3 boys. I'm a veteran of this great country. I served for 23 years. I was born in Tecomán, Colima, Mexico, and I was raised in the orchards of Washington State, where I had the blessing of growing up with my parents, where I learned the value of hard work. I became a naturalized citizen, and I enlisted in the Marine Corps, and that is how I was able to go to school. I went to Gonzaga University, and at Gonzaga University, I was introduced to a program named ROTC. I had never heard of that before, and that's how I earned my commission and became an officer of the United States Army. I led troops in the Balkans, Iraq, and Afghanistan, and had the blessings of being able to be a professor of international relations at West Point, the Command General Staff College in Kansas. And after 23 years of military service, I retired here in Fresno, where my wife and I had chose a place where we saw a valley where before the sun rises, you see people out there working, toiling this beautiful soil and providing for this community and for the country some of the most incredible crops. And I also had the opportunity of being introduced to a program known as the Veterans Memorial District, where I learned what a special district is. I had never heard of that before, but there I had the blessing of becoming the CEO of this organization, where I help veterans as they transition out of the military and connect with employment opportunities. I also help youth leadership in connecting with their community, and I have 3 boys that are Eagle Scouts, and this is where I have spent my time. But now I have seen the valley where our farmers are having a hard time being able to get the basics that they need. I see businesses that are struggling and families who are doing everything right, and yet they are having the hardest time to just survive. They should be thriving. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Kyle Kirkland is up with Jim Paulsgrove on deck.
Thank you. My name is Kyle Kirkland. I'm running for Congress in District 21 here in the Central Valley, and that comprises the Selma District, where we are here tonight. Thank you for having me here. I grew up back east. I was born in Virginia. I grew up in Maine. I came out here to California about 40 years ago to go to graduate school. I showed up with $700 in my pocket, and I never left. I think it's a beautiful place. I came to California for the promise of what it was and what it could be, and I've been very blessed over the course of my career. I had a wonderful career in finance and music. I came up here to the Central Valley to get in the gaming business, where I've been for the last 2 decades. But what I've seen over the course of the last 20 years is the degradation of California and how it's really come off. And it's such a beautiful state, and I still believe it's the best state in the nation to live. And I believe America is the best place to be born in, and even today, I believe the American dream is alive and well. But the problem is it's not really achievable. And so I'm running for Congress because I'm a political outsider. I'm a business person. I've always taken businesses that were troubled and that needed turnaround and created value from them. I employ a lot of people, I pay a lot of taxes, and I give a lot back to the community. I've been very fortunate to do that. But unfortunately, what I see for so many people here in the Central Valley is that we have an affordability crisis, we have an accountability crisis, we have safety, we have water issues, and I believe those are fixable issues here in California. I believe every problem that we're facing is self-inflicted by Sacramento and failed politics, and I believe as human beings we can fix them, and that's why I'm running. If you'd like to know more about me, please visit me at kirkland2026.com. You can follow us on Facebook at Kyle Kirkland for Congress on Facebook. You can see the kind of activities we're engaged in and what my background has been, and I really appreciate your support in this race. Thank you.
Jim Paulsgrove is up with Darren DuPont on deck.
Good evening. Thank you, Kevin. My name is Jim Paulsgrove. I'm running for the 31st Assembly District. That district encompasses southeastern Fresno County, from the county line up to about Highway 180, across the south there from Orange Cove to the Carruthers area, and then a big area down the middle of Fresno between approximately Academy, Grantland, out to Shaw Avenue. Roughly 250,000 people. The one thing that my background, first of all, 39 years in public service. Worked with the Flood Control District. I worked 31 years with the City of Fresno. And the last 5 I've been with the County of Fresno as their utility coordinator. During my time with the City of Fresno, I managed right-of-way and special districts, which that probably doesn't mean anything to any of you. But what it involves is any project that came through the City of Fresno came across my desk. I was in front of the City Council at least 1,000 times in 23 years, 24 years, whatever it was that I worked there. Became very familiar with all the councilmen I worked with. They have in a council report what's called a staff recommendation. I was the one, or one of my guys, then I would approve it, always made the staff recommendations. And what that is an analysis of the problem, a solution to the problem, and a way to implement that solution. I'm very proud to say that in right at 1,000 items I took before the council, I never had one of my staff recommendations overturned. So I have a track record of solving problems. And we all know that there's immense problem in Sacramento. We need to look at not just putting a Band-Aid on a broken arm. We need to look at solving the problem once and for all. Whether it's homelessness, whether it's cost of living, whether it's water, it's way too often people want to put a Band-Aid on it. And unfortunately, the Band-Aid involves your tax dollars, and I got a 0 over here. Thank you very much.
Darren DuPont is up with Alma Beltran on deck. Alma Beltran.
Good evening. Thank you for having me tonight. My name is Darren DuPont. I'm running for State Senate District 14. I'm a husband and a father. I always start out by saying that because in anything that I may do, that's the most important jobs that I have. I'm also a city council member for the city of Merced and a civil attorney. I'm born and raised in the Central Valley. The only times that I've left for the Central Valley is to go to school. I went to Merced College for 2 years. I went to George Mason University in Northern Virginia. From there, I went to law school, McGeorge School of Law in Sacramento, where I have a water and environmental law concentration and a municipal law concentration. I have a civil law practice in the city of Merced, and at the age of 30, I became partner, and I owned my own business in the city of Merced with 3 other partners. This seat is very important to me, and the reason why I'm running is because California has failed my generation. My generation is struggling to put their first foot, their first step into their lives. Buying a home, setting a family, setting a community, and giving back to that community. California has failed us. That is the same generation that I live in, the same generation that is looking to grow. And that is why I'm running for state senate. As a civil law attorney, I see all walks of life. I see businesses that are struggling. not only operationally, but also to find employment. And as we continue here in California, we need new leadership, new generation to push forward for my generation and also for my daughter's generation. So thank you, and I look forward to tonight.
Thank you. Alma Beltran is up with Margaret Mims on deck.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Alma Beltran. I'm the mayor of the city of Parlier. I've been a mayor for 12 years. Prior to my mayorship, I had worked for the United Health Centers for 10 years in the Department of Health. Then I went to the Department of Corrections. I was a case manager specialist for a pre-parole program that would help re-enter the inmates that were coming back into society. So that was my job. I did that for 5 years. I then pursued the Department of Juvenile Hall at the Tulare County Juvenile Hall. I worked there for the Department of Mental Health. I helped with the children that were in need and had a lot of mental health issues, so that was my job. I worked with the mental health department. And then from there, I went to work for the Department of Corrections for Avenal State Prison. I am a retired correctional officer. I had been there since 2003 till 2019, I retired. So now I have full focus on my passion to help people in my community, and not also in my community, but also in the communities around me. I have been the mayor for 12 years, and I had seen how much we've been looked over for many, many years. That is why I'm here, and this is why I want to fight for our communities. Rural communities are always been left behind. I understand the need of water. I understand the agricultural as well, because there's been a lot of land that has been retired, and I don't believe in retiring our land. I believe that we need to help our agriculture, our farm workers, our farm labor communities, help them all as far as to making it sure that they do have a future, because they are, our children are our future. We invest in them and we make sure that they have a future. I am a first generation citizen here. My parents came from Guadalajara, Jalisco, and my grandparents came through the Bracero program. So this is why I know the need and the opportunity to help our immigrants to have solutions, to try to figure out how we can help them and to have a successful place here in the United States, and to give them opportunities. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Margaret Mims, you're up with Nick Sahota on deck.
Good evening. I am Margaret Mims, and I'm running for District 4 Supervisor. District 4 in Fresno County is the southern strip of Fresno County, from Coalinga to Orange Cove. It includes 9 incorporated cities as well as 9 unincorporated communities. I am extremely familiar because I worked for 42 years in law enforcement. I think I've driven every single road, not only in District 4, but in Fresno County. We have a beautiful county. And included in that 42 years is 16 years as your sheriff for the Fresno County Sheriff's Office. I'm really glad to be here in Selma. The very first home my husband and I bought was right around the corner here on North Hill Avenue. I was born here in Selma. My first job was picking grapes outside of a Carruthers in a vineyard. Then I picked tomatoes in Huron for Giffen Ranches at the time, many years ago. But I learned the value of hard work, and I learned the value of our agricultural economy. And what's important to me is, should be no surprise to anyone, public safety. None of us can run our businesses, attend our churches, or be safe in our homes unless we feel safe. And so public safety is extremely important, number one for me. Then our ag industry, over $9 billion that it contributes to Fresno County, the economy. Extremely important. My son is a farmer. My son-in-law has an almond harvesting business. So I understand not only how important it is to me personally, but to our community and our economy. And next is public service. I did retire for 3 years, but I miss public service. That is where my heart is. And working with people, problem solving is what I'm best at. Local public service, there's nothing like it. I would appreciate your support on June 2nd. Thank you.
Nick Sahota is up. Charlie Soto on deck.
Hi, good evening, and thank you for the opportunity to be here tonight. Thank you, Pastor Quintana, putting this forum together. This is what we need. We need to have voice out there in Selma community and well as the surrounding Central Valley community. And my backgrounds, I lifelong residents of Selma, Fresno counties, and I am have served on the Selma school boards and well as working on a farming over 35 years, and well as the business owners of Central Valley Engineering herein. And I went working with many cities in the Central Valley, and I went dealing with what we need out there on to improve it. And one of the reasons that I went running for this Fresno County Board of Supervisor is that we need someone have a practical experience. I have over 35 years of experience in a farming background. I know what we are facing out there. We have a major water issue, but water is related to every thing, the jobs and agricultures. And when dealing out there, seeing the farmers are losing their farms, and because of the water's the situation out there. And there's no one have been working on it. Water should be the main issues. And being on this board, on the school board, I learned how to be manage on a different aspect of the budgeting and working with the education background. And I'm graduated from Fresno State, and I have a background in engineering, and I know what needs to be takes to be fixed, the water problem, agriculture problem, and creating jobs out there. And the jobs are we need for Central Valley to be protect our new generation to become. And I'm a big on the creating jobs out there, and we need to be having more program to create out by the Fresno counties to be protect our jobs for our children. And I'm running for again for District 4. Please support me, and I will make sure that your voice is out there. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Nick Soto is up with Dr. Johnny Alvarado on deck.
Good evening. First and foremost, I want to thank you, everyone that put this together. This is a great, humbling feeling to actually be here to run again. My name is Charlie Soto. First and foremost, I want to thank God. I want to be the person who stands before you as a humble servant for Fresno County District 4. And why would I be a great candidate for Fresno County District 4? Well, I am a husband, father of 5, veteran of 24 and a half years in the United States Navy. I was a Navy chief. Great time, amazing service, and I would do it again. But after leaving the Navy, I want to find a service to a call to be back in the public servant situation. So for me, Fresno County District 4 is a start. For a while, I was a planning commissioner for the city of Kingsburg. Right now, I am a tax auditor. I know that's something a lot of people don't like, yes. But someone's got to do it. You got to do your taxes, and someone's got to make sure you're doing them right. So here I am, wanting to move on to a new position where people would like me a little bit more, hopefully. So what would I bring as Fresno County Supervisor? Not just hope, but a challenge for change. Dare to be great. Dare to do things that our generation needs to do. Fresno County is suffering from droughts. It's suffering from homelessness. It's suffering from poverty. If our state was separated into 4 different states, we would be in the poorest state in the union. Not in the separated California, but in the union. There needs to be change. I challenge you. I challenge you to make that change with me and vote for me as your Fresno County Supervisor, District 4. Thank you.
Dr. Johnny Alvarado is up with Dr. Michelle Cantwell-Kofer on deck.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and Pastor Quintana, muchas gracias for this opportunity. Kevin, great to see you again. Thank you for taking time to do this for us. I'm Johnny Alvarado, and I'm running for Fresno County Superintendent of Schools. When I think about the main reason why I'm running, it's this. I grew up in Sanger, grew up in a little barrio called La Chancla. Some of you might know that. It sounds like you do. Tough place, grew up in poverty, very challenging neighborhood. Now, I share that not to seek pats on the back. That doesn't interest me. I share it because there is one thing that made a difference in my life. Education made a difference in my life. It changed my life. It changed the trajectory of our daughters. I first met my wife in 1979 when she was a 6th grader. I was a 7th grader, so everything's okay with that. We have been together ever since, and we have 3 beautiful daughters. Education changed their life because education changed my life. Our oldest daughter is a nurse practitioner here in Fresno County. Our middle daughter is a nurse in Colorado, working hard to get her back. And our youngest daughter, Nina, is an attorney here in Fresno. We are not better than anybody. We just strive to be better than who we were the day before or the year before, and we're accomplishing that. In 1966, I was born, and on June 2nd of this year, my name is on the ballot for Fresno County Superintendent of Schools. I think a lot about how that happened over my journey. Some teachers had an effect on me. You can read about them on my website, Dr. Johnny Alvarado for FCSS.com. Some mentors had a role, but more than anything, what carried me through all the obstacles and the adversity that I faced was that I had a solid foundation on reading, writing, and math. And that is the reason why I am running for this position. In 2014, I said, that's the superintendency I want someday. I've been patient, intentional, and purposeful. I have served as an elementary school teacher, middle school, high school, and college professor, an elementary, middle school, high school principal. I have served at the district level, county level administrator, and I have served all over this county. I appreciate the opportunity to talk more about this today. Thank you.
Dr. Canwell Kofer is up with Dr. Emir O'Brien on deck.
Good evening, Selma and beyond. I am your very proud Fresno County Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Michelle Kofer. So excited to be here with so many friends and supporters. I grew up in Riverdale, and I think I'm so proud of being able to start my comments with that in that manner because that community built me up, and that's what we need for our children today in our schools. Before I tell you a little bit more about all that we've done in Fresno County Schools, and with me in the helm of the last 3.5 years, let me tell you a little bit about my background as well. I married my high school sweetheart, John, who serves with the Sheriff's Department, 38 years in. Together we have a daughter, Claire, who's an attorney in Sacramento, and my son, Quade, is serving in the U.S. Navy, preparing to be a pilot. So my whole family understands what it means to serve our community. For the last 3.5 years, I'm so incredibly proud of the work that we've built together in our schools. We have 205,000 students in Fresno County. We have 31 school districts, 29 charter schools, and 11 faith-based schools. Again, Pastor Quintana, thank you so much for hosting us today. It feels very, very special and very, very right to be in a church this evening talking about the future of our children. In the last 3 years, we've been intentional about building the components that make our students thrive in schools. Early care and education. We've put in mental health services. We have expanded offerings at every single grade level instructionally so that we can make sure our students have what they need to advance to the next level, strong and confident for their future. And in high school, we want every single child to graduate with a plan for college, career, or service. So we've expanded A through G offerings. We've expanded substantially CTE or career tech education opportunities. And we are making sure our students feel like they have options. Today, I'm here to tell you that we are seeing results. Higher graduation rates, every single grade level, our test scores are up. The state of California recognized our county as one of the 5 in the entire state of California. We have 21 state distinguished schools in the last 3 years. I'm so excited about what the future holds for Fresno County students.
Dr. O'Brien is up with Jim Paulsgrove on deck.
Well, good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for hosting this great event. My name is Emer O'Brien. You may recognize me, my name from when I was superintendent in Clovis Unified School District. I retired in 2023. But I began my life in Ireland, and where I was born and raised and was trained as a teacher. And I taught there for 10 years. I taught the little kids how to read and the fundamentals of math. I was trained in how to teach reading through the science of reading, or the old phonics-driven method. When I came here to Fresno County, and I've been here for the greater part of my adult life. I've raised my children here. I ended up teaching another 10 years, and that's where I started my career in Clovis Unified, again teaching the younger kids how to read. Following that 20 years in the classroom, I went into school leadership. I became a principal at an elementary school. We were the highest performing school in the district for each year that I was principal, and then I became a principal of a high school, and we had the highest increase in academic achievement under my leadership. In 2017, I was appointed superintendent of Clovis Unified, at the time the 12th largest school district in the state with 45,000 students. And last year I served as interim superintendent in Central Unified. The reason I'm running is because I believe we're, as the fourth largest economy in the world, there's an issue when we have over half of our students not able to read on grade level. The good news is that many states have turned it around. It's been a nationwide problem. We have a new law that was passed last October in California. We're the 40th state to put it in place, but it's going to be a heavy lift for all of our districts. As the only candidate in the race who's been a district superintendent, not once but twice, I'll be honored to help lead our districts through that change. Thank you.
All right, you're going to think this is the longest question ever, but I want to kind of give you a little background on this. I have never worked with government where I thought it was efficient. Doesn't matter whether there was a variance with the county, horrible experience. Doesn't matter whether it's dealing with plans. Doesn't matter if it's dealing with education. I've seen some tremendously inefficient programs and money wasted in education. So here's your question.
And I'm the first one in the crosshairs. Thank you.
Yeah, you're the first one up. Taxpayers are sick of government waste. In fact, we've heard a lot lately about waste, fraud, and abuse. I'm sure you all, even though you're not in positions yet, even though you haven't won races yet, I guarantee you've studied your areas of responsibility if you win this race. I'd like to know from what you know so far how you would cut money and save money for the taxpayer and or eliminate or improve programs that are inefficient. That's the question.
Actually, it's not bad you asked me that question because I just went over and looked at this myself. Number one is gas tax. We've got the highest gas tax in the country, yet we're ranked 50th in the quality of our roads. The number one state in the United States is Virginia for roads. They only have a gas tax of 28 cents. Vehicle registration. My personal truck is $557. My son has a similar truck in Idaho. $6,250 a year compared to $550. Lastly, and I know I've only got a minute, the study that I've got says that we've got somewhere between $312 and $425 billion worth of fraud taking place in California. Now, if you take the reduction in the gas tax, the reduction in the registration, and also eliminate fraud, you could give each and every man, woman, and child in the state of California $99,550. Okay? $99,950, I'm sorry. But the bottom line is, that's how you solve the affordability thing.
All right, thank you. Up right now is Darren DuPont, and on deck, Charlie Soto.
For the state Senate, the key to bringing back money to your pockets is bringing balance back to Sacramento. So it means one party rule of Sacramento has to go away. We have to have balance. We have to have another party that allows us to have a conversation of what is the common good for all, not for the one party that's in Sacramento. And that comes with deregulation. Right now, when I talked about that my generation is struggling, it's because time is money. And we take a lot of time to build houses. We take a lot of time to do things which cost money. So we need to start to deregulate the system, return money back into the pockets of the individual, and provide that opportunity to build faster and to provide housing faster. So there's a lot of ways that we can work on in Sacramento. The first one is bringing balance, because one party has ruled Sacramento for more than a decade. Thank you.
Thank you. Charlie Soto is up with Nick Sahota on deck.
So, yeah, we all don't want to spend a lot of money on taxes, and you're talking to the guy that spends his life collecting taxes and making sure people pay taxes. So, thank you, Kevin. That's an awesome question. Honestly, there's a lot of waste. There's overtaxing. In some places, there's people that get away with not paying taxes. So the balance on all of that is just thinking about how we are with our own family budgets. The things that hit us the most is our households. You know, what are we going to do as Fresno County Supervisor that's going to make things easier for you? I can go through and find ways to earn money to make Measure C a more profitable measure, and at the same time, we'll have to start cutting programs that are very valuable. The issue comes down to certain regulations. Why is housing so expensive? Why is rent so expensive? And I see this in taxes. Every time that people are renting houses, the amount of taxes are expensive. If we start regulating certain issues such as housing and going through and reducing the cost, that's how we're going to make things affordable here in Fresno County. That's how things are going to be less waste and fraud. Sorry, I used too much time. Please don't tackle me. I'm out of here.
All right, Nick Sahota is up. Margaret Mims on deck.
Thank you. What a great questions. And being a background on engineering, running a small business, and I knew how to work with the payrolls and how do we manage our insurances for the employees, writing a checks on every week. And being on a board of supervisor, we need to be finding out the programs that $5.2 billion budget, what are the importance we need them. And we need them helps on creating more jobs. We need to put the money on there. There is a Measure C was worked on it. Only 15% was worked only on the roads. And now there's a Measure C coming again. So we need to find on it. When I get on the board, I'll make sure that money goes back to the roads and build these broken roads. So I will manage to see what we need to do for better for our future, for our children, and what we need to do to cut down these costs. And we don't need to pay more tax on it. We paying enough on our tax. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Margaret Mims is up. Alma Beltran is on deck.
This is a perfect question for me because I spent almost 40 years in the county system, and I know there are areas where we can improve because I did it when I was sheriff. I figured out that we were paying a lot more money per gallon for gas than if we'd given every deputy sheriff a Shell credit card and driven up to the pump. What I found out was the county had developed a slush fund. So they budget departments, they give you money for internal service fees, you pay it back to the county when you use those services like fuel, IT, those kind of services. But they were creating a slush fund that you didn't know about. I didn't know about it until we looked into it. This was your money. I'm all for having reserves, but our budgeting has got to be transparent. So those are the kinds of things that I've already done. I can look at making sure that we're spending your money efficiently. Most of the county budget is pass-through money coming from the federal government. And sometimes it's hard to stop programs when they start. But because of what's going on now with investigations, I think that's going to become easier. Thank you.
Thank you. Alma Beltran is up with Dr. O'Brien on deck.
Okay, that's a great question. Being that I was the mayor for 12 years, we had an issue with our general fund always being in a deficit. So the only way that you can resolve that is having audits and do a thorough search on your budgets and making sure that there's not wasteful spending, because a lot of the times what happens that you have all these grants that come through and you think, oh, these are great grants, but then they don't get reimbursed. And a lot of times when they don't get reimbursed, it comes out of your general fund. So that's why it's important to do a thorough audit on all the departments to see where the waste is at and reduce the waste. That's one of the things that I discovered with the city of Parlier. We had an issue with our police department almost closing every time. And so with that, we only had $1 million 1.5 million for our police department. We were able to get enough funding to have 3 million now for our police department. So it's about how you manage it's like your own budget for your household. You want to make sure that everything is being accounted for and that you're not doing any wasteful spending. So to me, it's always about audits. And the other thing too is that you hear about housing. Housing is one of the issues that I always hear that is important, but yet they always give these grants for the housing and yet it's not affordable. So thank you.
Thank you. Dr. O'Brien is up with Dr. Michelle Cantwell-Kofer on deck.
So I wonder if all of you know that this year, our budget into next year, we will have the highest per pupil funding for public education in the history of California. And yet, our return on investment is very disappointing. As I just mentioned earlier, over half of our students in Fresno County and even higher in individual districts are not reading on grade level, and it's even more concerning in math. And so today, there was a landmark report put out by Stanford University, and it's a very respected report. And in it, they said that one of the big issues in California is this uneven level of student performance in districts around the state. And of course, we have that in our own county. And the inability to be able to, once we identify who those districts are, how to scale it up. And they identified that one of the issues is that our county offices of education differ too much in the support that they can give. And as the only candidate who's been a district superintendent, I know that I can do that. Thank you.
Okay, Dr. Cantwell-Kofer is up with Johnny Alvarado. Dr. Alvarado on deck.
This particular question is important to me, and rather than tell you what I will do about it, let me tell you what I have done about it in the last 3.5 years. In the first 6 months, I was able to save $5 million in our operating budget because of efficiencies. We were overstaffed by 10%. We were able to correct that within the first 6 months. We had a school that was operating in the deficit of $1.4 million and somewhat underperforming. We corrected that in 1 year. And most importantly, we had a program called Kids Cafe that we transitioned from a storefront that was losing $350,000 a year into a produce stand in-house, tripling the number of students that were able to receive high-quality work experience, which was exactly what the state's purpose was for that funding. So I have made it a hallmark of my tenure for the last 3.5 years to be both transparent with our funding, to be responsible with our funding, to be efficient so that each expenditure translates to greater student outcomes. And that's about building trust and respect with my public. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Johnny Alvarado is up, and on deck is Darren DuPont.
If there's one thing that I know that we all have in common at one point or another is that you have all sent your children or your nieces and nephews or grandchildren to school to learn. In the last 11 years, consistently, year after year on average, 55% of our kids cannot read or write on grade level, and close to 70% cannot do math on grade level. Every year for the last 11 years. I do not call that a return on investment. I share that information because I want to take this position and I want to put that own pressure on myself to start changing those numbers, those percent increases or decreases in this case, and I know how to do it. Having served in every single grade level, having served as a superintendent, regional vice president of a large charter school organization, having served in court and community schools, having trained in 15 different states on behavior management systems, which I'll talk more in a bit, because when our teachers face such a wide variety of ability in a classroom, they struggle. It is challenging for them to be successful as a teacher. I look forward to sharing more tonight. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. I'm going to go ahead and bring you on up, but I'm going to ask the question here because you haven't answered that question, have you?
I answered that question.
That's what I thought.
We may be missing some congressional candidates, however.
That's what I'm missing. Lorenzo, you're up first. Thank you. And on deck, I'm sitting here looking. I think I missed somebody.
We're in this.
Yeah.
No, thank you for asking. That's a great question.
Federal, yeah.
No, it's federal. So I can tell you that I can look at what I've done for the last year. And for the last year, I've had the blessing of working with a local agency that has a fixed budget. When I first had it, took over, it was functioning at about 20% utilization and with minimal gains to show the public. It served more as a liability and less as an asset. What I discovered was when you stop trying to grow government in order to serve the public and instead answer the need of the public by reducing the redundancy. Right now, I want to use an example. When a federal government currently has a transition assistance program for veterans as they transition out, but yet you see this horrible integration into the community. We have millions of dollars being spent over here, but you're not being successful. But when you integrate these organizations and hold them accountable, what we have found has been you serve the person that you're supposed to be serving and you reduce budgets. We have brought organizations together at my district, and what we have discovered was we now better serve our community and we've reduced our costs, and that is how we serve our community.
Thank you. Kyle Kirkland.
Well, that's a tall order for a minute, but I would say this. So the candidates that are in my race and a number of races throughout California, I feel the one that's uniquely qualified to reduce costs and deliver value. I have a degree in economics from Harvard. I went to Stanford Business School. I spent the last 40 years of my life delivering value with my own money without being able to look to Charlie or others to help me fund it. I have delivered value consistently for the people in the communities that I've worked for, and now over the course of the last decade, I've transitioned that into the private or the nonprofit sector as well. I started in nonprofit animal rescue. That's one of the largest and most successful here in the Central Valley. I'm chair of our Fresno Chaffee Zoo, which is charged with making value of Measure Z money. I am the candidate to drive value for folks out there and reduce the cost of living. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm going to preface this question, too, by saying this. Thank you for coming on up. By the way, on deck, Darren's up here, and then on deck is Nick Sahota. In regards to people running for office, sometimes promises are made about people doing things that they have no authority over. So I'll just give you an example. I come from an education background, okay? Superintendent of schools. I think you heard 31 districts, right, in Fresno County. If I just spoke to a superintendent at a small district today, not in Fresno County, and he said if a county superintendent came and told me what I was going to do, I'd tell him to go pound rocks. My boss is my board. That's who tells us what we're going to do. So here's the question. By the way, this applies to everybody. I just gave an example about superintendent of schools. This applies to everybody. Here's the question. How are you going to move people to action if you have no authority over them? That's your question.
You move people by action because of how they're impacting their lives, right? Policies that are impacting your lives. So on the city council, this is very prevalent. You drive on streets every day, or walk on sidewalks, or you go to the grocery store, or you have to get gas. So you empower people and you move people to do certain things by the policies that you implement. Sacramento has the ability to impact your lives. Provide more funding locally to improve your roads. Provide more funding locally to improve your sidewalks. Suspend the gas tax and put more money in your pockets. That's how you impact people. And Sacramento right now is not doing it because all politics is local, and we should be looking at how we can help you locally and not how we can help Sacramento, because the Central Valley needs help, and the Central Valley needs more people standing up for our problems and our issues here. Thank you.
Nick Sahota is up, followed by Margaret Mims on deck.
Yeah, thanks for the questions. And being on a school board over 6 years, and we made a lot of improvements on our educations, and where we have biggest achievements, where we were on 15th rank in our school district, we got into the 5th places actually. And that's the big achievement. Being on a supervisors, that's the duty, is that we gotta hear for what's the problems out there. We gotta make it policies. We don't enforce, we make policy for the peoples. We need to find out that what we need to do for the agriculture, water. There's the biggest issue on the water. We need to work with the Sacramento and DC and local irrigation district to solve this problem. With a background in engineering infrastructures, we could do that. We could have them storage for the water. We could do putting in more retention basins out there. There's a lot of things we could do it. So infrastructures, yes, we need to have the roads need to be improved, and that's what I will do when I'm on the board. Thank you.
Margaret Mims is up, followed by Alma Beltran.
So one of the things that I hear many politicians say, well, I'm going to create jobs. A county board of supervisor doesn't create jobs. You create the pathway to allow businesses to come in that create the jobs. So we have to be truthful when we talk about what we're going to do. The other thing that's important is about influencing people you have no authority over, which was the question. It's all about relationships. As sheriff of Fresno County, I worked with our federal partners and our state partners and every single city and community in the county of Fresno. It's all about relationships. I've been endorsed by the mayors of Sanger, Reedley, Selma, Fowler, and Kingsburg, the biggest population areas in District 4. It's all about relationships, and that's how you work with people and have influence, even though you may not have authority over them.
Thank you. Alma Beltran is up, followed by Charlie Soto.
That is correct. You build relationships. Being the chair for the Fresno Council of Governments, I was the one that was working on the Measure C. It was a very challenging situation because there was not a lot of, we couldn't come to terms to how we're going to develop a measure. But when you start working with people and listening and not fighting and arguing and start listening to what their concerns are and start working with them, that's how you get and build relationships. It was 11 mayors that were able to unite and put a measure together. Now, me working with building relationships in other cities, that is correct. I have been endorsed from mayors and also council, not just in Fresno County, but throughout the San Joaquin Valley. That tells you that I have the ability to work with other leaders in our region. And I do also work with the federal government because I've also have gone to DC, to Sacramento, and fought for what we need in our communities. So that is how you do it. You work with the public, you work with the leaders, and try to build relationships to bring the best for the community. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Charlie Soto is up, followed by Dr. Cantwell Kofer.
So, how do you motivate people to do something that they don't want to do? It's simple. It is very simple. Everyone has a common ground. It doesn't matter what political party you're from. Everyone wants to have a better life for themselves and their neighborhood, for their neighbors, their family, future generations. I was able to motivate sailors back in my time in the Navy when I tell them, hey, sailor, do you want to go home early? We got to get this job done. Guess what? They want to go home early. Everyone wants to get the job done. That's what it takes. We find a common goal, we find what motivates each other, and that's how we can do that together. It's not hard. We all want the same goal, we all want the same thing. We want to improve Fresno County, California, and the United States. So whatever seat and position that you guys move on to, I hope you find the motivation to get the people to do what needs to be done. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Kofer, followed by Dr. Johnny Alvarado.
I'm so proud of the work that we've done as a group of 31 county superintendents, district superintendents. I'm so proud of the fact that while the county superintendent has oversight of fiscal and LCAP, what we've really done is inspired, motivated, and shown a way forward to work through this very complex system with the very important work of moving the needle for our students together. And that is why we've seen growth in every single grade level. It has been done because we have respecting relationships. When we pull together together our monthly superintendent's meeting, we're looking at data, we're figuring out what works, we're adjusting, we're tweaking, and we're scaling the best practices so that every child in Fresno County has the opportunity to grow and learn. And it's been one of the most inspiring periods of my life. I've been in education 35 years. I'm so excited about what we're doing together as a group of educational leaders on behalf of students and families in our schools.
Thank you. Dr. Alvarado, followed by Dr. O'Brien.
I totally agree that this position has no authority over the 31 different school district superintendents, but this position does have influence, because if it does not have influence, then why should this position even exist? And here's what I mean by that. Ed Code 1240 cites 3 main responsibilities: budget review, support for special populations, and accountability for all schools to make a difference for students. For the last 20 years, that third arm, I contend, has not been used correctly. I aim to do that. I will be influential with our district superintendents. I'll ask this as a simple question, our first meeting. For the last 10 years, our juniors, the 11th graders last year, 44% could not read or write on grade level, and 74% could not do math on grade level. And today, because of social promotion, which is just advancing kids every year, they're all seniors in high school. And in a month, we're literally going to hand them a diploma and set them out into the world. And then what happens? We need somebody that can provide influence, but also create that common purpose. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. O'Brien, followed by Kyle Kirkland.
So I've spent the last year talking with our district superintendents all around this county. And the way we're funded, a lot of our, especially our smaller districts, don't have a lot of resources. And so they really rely very heavily on the county office to help them with a variety of things, putting programs in place, dealing with financial issues, facilities, and academic achievement. And so when they turn to the county superintendent, they're looking for somebody that they can trust, somebody that they feel, whose judgment that they feel is worthy of listening to, somebody they feel that they can respect, and somebody who has a track record that understands what it's like to be a district superintendent, who understands what it's like to sit in a room and come up with goals with a governing board, and then to deliver on those goals, as I did when I was a superintendent in Clovis Unified. And so having been in that position, and I really feel that the county superintendents, the thing we need most is somebody who has credibility and somebody who has integrity. Thank you.
Thank you. Kyle Kirkland, followed by Lorenzo Rios.
Well, thank you. I believe that I'll do it the same way that I've done it for the last 40 years of my career, and that is leading by example and actually taking action to solve problems, and then being accountable for it, and being accountable not only for the successes. It's easy to raise your hand when there's a success, but also raising your hand when there's a failure. And I don't think we see enough of that in California. We're certainly standing up, whether it's high-speed rail, whether it's fraud, whether it's we don't have a revenue problem in California. We have a spending problem in California. And I know how, because I've put my own energy, time, ability to work, not only for businesses that I've run, but also for the community through nonprofits where we've actually gone out, gotten into the community, and had a demonstrable impact on some of the problems that we've seen. So I believe the way that you inspire others is to get out there and lead by example. Show them what they can do. Show them what they can do if they actually get out and take action. And I've done that for 40 years, and I want to do it for California District 21. Thank you.
Thank you. Lorenzo Rios, followed by Jim Paulsgrove.
I don't believe that you have to push. I think you have to listen. There are great initiatives that are out there, like the San Joaquin Manufacturing Alliance. The initiatives are there. The professionals are making things happen. The challenge is all these regulations that overregulate and shackle progress. This is where your public servant their job is to get in there and remove that regulation. Also, the convene and confer option that comes with the office is one of the most powerful pieces that you have, where you bring different parts together and get the different partners to now listen to each other. I will tell you that the answers are out there, whether it's the water blueprint that we currently have, where we have education, we've got managers of water and practitioners and the users all coming together looking at how we answer those problems. As a public servant, the most important part is put the servant back into that role and to then make access to those government agencies accessible to the people and make sure that the views and the needs of the people are heard. That's the way we go Valley Strong. If you're going to have an America Strong policy, we need to start with the Valley Strong policy, and that's what I'm about.
Thank you. Jim Paulsgrove, and on deck, Margaret Mims.
This is a good question, and the only way I can answer it is that I just do what I've done all my life in my career. Bring people together to solve problems. I've been a problem solver my whole career, and I've got a great ability to bring sometimes very hardcore people together. I don't know if any of you are in development, but try dealing with the railroad, try dealing with PG&E. They're not easy to bring together, and I have been successful in the past of bringing them together to accomplish the goals that we've set out to do. And as I finish up on that, the one thing that I want to say is I have already started reaching out to the various individuals on the federal, county, city, ag industry to set up relationships so that if a constituent comes to me with a problem that doesn't fall easily within the state purview, that I can make reference to the right person, get them to the right person. They may not be happy that I can't do it, but I can get them to the right person. Thank you.
Thank you. While Margaret Mims comes on up here, and on deck, by the way, is Alma Beltran. The next question is this. Whether you are on the local level, the state level, the federal level, whatever role we play, whatever role you're candidating for, we're all a part of this great country called America. I want you to come up at this time and answer this question. I want you to think about the national level now and the role you may play or what's going on in this country. What is the greatest threat to America today and why?
Wow. I think the greatest physical threat are attacks from other countries that chant death to America. That is the greatest physical threat that we have. As far as internally, I think our economy is a second threat. I've been to Washington, D.C. I've met with 2 presidents. I've met with vice presidents. And working together, when I can talk to what happens at our local level, because of what happens at the federal level, it makes it real. It makes it very real to those that are in our nation's capital. So that's what I feel is the biggest threat. Again, being an American is something to be proud of. When you live in this country, you should be proud of that. And it is truly a honor to be American. And I think we all need to stand up individually more often and say that out loud. Thank you.
Alma Beltran, followed by Charlie Soto.
Thank you. Great question. Well, for 12 years now, I constantly go every year to Washington, D.C. I'm going to be in D.C. in September. I just came back in March. So I know firsthand that what we need to do, and that's bringing people together. We talked about it, about unity and how you work with people. It's reaching across the aisle. A lot of them forget what their purpose is. Their purpose is there to work with people, to work with the other states, to work with our local leaders, and to find a resolution to get what the job done, because that's what it's about. Our economy is failing us because of there is no unity. There is no working together. It's about who's the one that's going to get the most votes. It's a power struggle between the two sides, and they're forgetting the purpose that they're there is to represent us, to do something for us, and not to be a power struggle. So that is one of the things that I think is very important for us to stand up and make a difference by actually being there and listening and working together, bringing unity. That is what's going to help our economy. Thank you.
Thank you. Charlie Soto is up, followed by Nick Sahota.
Our country, over 250 years, has had a lot of threats. There's always going to be a country that's going to chant death to America. There's always going to be outside threats that we do not see. But the biggest threat that we have in this nation that faces us today is division. Like our candidates have already said before, we start seeing blue and red, and we blur the lines of what needs to get done. The things that need to get done are the things that need to take care of this country and the people. We are distracted by arguments and votes of who wins and who doesn't win. That is not what this country needs anymore. This country needs to come together, be united, and do the right thing for the people. The people are the ones that are failing. They're the ones that are getting trampled on. They're the ones that are losing. Politicians, corporations, whoever is in puppeteering this whole country in the way we're fighting, they're winning. We're losing. And we're losing our country. And we need to fight and unite.
Thank you. Nick Sahota, followed by Dr. Alvarado.
As a perspective from Board of Supervisor, and the one that threatened is that I would say this country is built with immigration. And like as I said, I'm a first immigration family, and right now in California, people are afraid out there. And immigration is one of them. We have working families out there. We have a farming. We have those people's hardworking families out there. Now they're afraid from ICE to get them. We need to find the solutions that how to protect our people or who's working hard for our building this America. America is a background in California from the farming community. Yes, we do need criminals out, but from perspective from Board of Supervisor, we need to find the sheriff only that could go after the criminals, the hardcore criminals. And as far as that is the first one, and we need to protect America and America's Second Amendment. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Johnny Alvarado, Dr. Alvarado, followed by Dr. O'Brien.
We've been hearing a lot from all of our candidates about problems that we're faced with in our communities, in our country, national level, local level. An uneducated populace creates a lot of problems for everybody, not only self, not only their family, but their community, and our entire society. What do I believe is a national threat? It's our educational system, and we have to fix that. This is the most important opportunity that we have, and I've already shared data with you about us in our county and how we've been failing our students. If we don't get that right, crime continues to increase, poverty continues to increase, and the secret sauce here is creating an educational environment that will benefit all of our students, because eventually, when our kids leave high school or the K-12 public education, they all rise and they associate with one another. And we want them to associate with one another on an equal playing ground. Education will do that.
Thank you. Dr. O'Brien is up, followed by Dr. Cantwell-Cofer.
So I believe that the greatest threat we have right now is that we have a generation of young people who are lacking in an ability to think critically. And some of it is being caused by an irresponsible use of AI. Some, I think, has been caused by screen addiction. But for those of us who understand literacy and education, we know that critical thinking is one of the higher levels of comprehension. But our students can't get to that stage if they don't go through the lower levels of learning how to read, how to understand, how to decode words, and then how to read efficiently so that they actually get to the level of being able to think critically. And that is what will, I think, ultimately bring us down in society, is if our young people just can't rationalize and think. So thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Cofer, followed by Lorenzo Rios.
I believe the greatest threat to our beloved country is the underdevelopment of the talent we have in our classrooms today. Our greatest resource is our children, and our job in our office, in my office in particular, is to work with community supports and systems in a civic infrastructure approach that mitigates all the barriers our kids have to success. There are so many threats to a child's ability to come to school and be able to thrive in our classrooms. That's why I work so closely mitigating those threats. Today, the difference we've made with having food pantries at schools is massive. The difference we've made with mental health supports in our schools has made a measurable difference. By mitigating those barriers, our children can come to school with the opportunity to realize their full potential, realize the dreams of every parent in our classrooms, and be able to iterate to all of those complex systems problems that our children are the future and can help us resolve and move forward as a group. Thank you so much.
Lorenzo Rios is up, followed by Kyle Kirkland.
The strength of America is its freedom and independence. The greatest threat is its dependence on others by choice, not by necessity. Example, we have the greatest oil reserves, but yet we import 80% of our natural resources. If we had one of our transformers taken down, it would take 5 years to have those brought in. That's ridiculous. We have exported our jobs and created unemployment unnecessarily when we could have those capabilities and manufacturing capabilities right here. If we were going ready to World War II, right now we would not be able to produce the equipment that would be necessary to sustain this country's ability to defend itself. We need to be able to defend ourselves by making sure that we bring back manufacturing, we leverage our resources that we have. God has blessed us with all the resources. We had over 40 refineries before in the 80s. We're down to 6. We have more oil reserves here than Saudi Arabia, and we've only tapped into 2%, and yet we are importing 80%, and we are held hostage because of activities that are taking place in the Middle East when we should have absolutely no issues with that. We need to bring back our strength of the United States. That's how we bring freedom back.
Thank you. Kyle Kirkland, followed by Jim Paulsgrove.
I think the greatest threat that we face in America today is the divisiveness that we see, because every bit of progress that we've made as a country, and certainly whether it's in the private sector or the public sector, is from a collective human effort. And if we're not getting along, and if we're not really engaged with others, that's not going to happen. Our great-grandparents came out of the Depression, went into the World War II with no army, no resources. They fought it in 2 different theaters, and they won it in less than 1 presidential term. And how did they do that? They solved that problem getting together collectively and working as a group, sacrificing together, working together, having a common purpose and a common goal. And whether you're looking at things in the economy, deregulation, or whatever, we need to get away from the divisiveness, find common ground with our people, with the people that we live, work, neighbors, whatever, and figure out how we're going to solve these problems that we face, because they're real and they're holding us back. The good news is the problems that we face today are solvable. Thank you.
Thank you. Jim Paulsgrove, followed by Darren DuPont.
I think that the biggest threat to our country today is the lack of pride in the country. If you don't have pride in your country, just like if you don't have pride in your house, pride in your car, pride in your relationships, they start to deteriorate. And that's what we've seen over the past few years. We need to get back to the days when we were proud to be Americans, that we stood up. We were proud of our president. We were proud of our representatives. We didn't have to be ashamed of them. And I mean, to be honest, many of you will, I'm sure, will agree with me. Some of the things that are coming out of Sacramento, they lack common sense. And we need to bring common sense back so that we can get the pride back, need to get the pride back to the people of the United States.
Thank you. Darren DuPont.
This question can be parsed into 2 parts. Socially, we've lost humanity. We've lost it looking at each other as a neighbor. We lost the ability to sit down at a table and break bread. we've lost that as humanity. We've only seen each other as who we may be, who we may represent, and who we may like as president or not president or representative. 2, the economy. The greatest threat is relying on other countries. California is known for one of the greatest agriculture states in all the union. As we continue to push ag out of California, it's a national security issue. We don't get fresh fruit, vegetables, or nuts. That reliance is dangerous. We have to continue to ensure that we are supporting locally and supporting our farmers, because that is a national security issue. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, we're out of time, but I want to do one more thing before we finish up here. You guys have been a great group. Those of you on live stream, I'm going to ask you a question, and I'll read your name, and I want you to answer that question by turning to the audience and saying this. I believe that everybody has a gift, a main gift. It might be leadership, might be hospitality. Who knows what it is? I want you to think of your primary gift. And I want you to stand up when I call your name, face the audience, and say what that gift is, your strongest suit, your strongest gift. You may have 3 or 4, but just no more than 3 words. This is not a talk. No less than 1 to 3 words on your gift. And I'll repeat it for the live stream, starting with Dr. O'Brien.
I think that my greatest gift is that I'm very relational. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Dr. Cantwell Cofer.
A proven track record.
Next, Dr. Alvarado.
Identify, understand, and solve the problem.
Charlie Soto.
It's not often tough answers, but I'll say this. I think my greatest gift is the ability to build and inspire for greatness.
Nick Sahota.
Protect water and agriculture.
Greatest gift, Margaret Mims.
Proven leadership.
Greatest gift, Alma Beltran.
Proven track record in my community. Thank you.
Darren DuPont.
Laying the foundation for the next generation.
Jim Paulsgrove.
That's what my greatest gift is, that I'm not afraid to beat my head against the wall for my constituents.
Kyle Kirkland.
I'm a proven problem solver for the community.
And Lorenzo Rios.
I'm a team builder. That gets things done.
All right, thank you. Audience, those of you that are here in person today and those of you that are on the live stream, I just want to remind you, it is extremely difficult to run for office. It takes your whole life. And for a long time, for many months and sometimes a couple of years and sometimes many, many years. So as you campaign. So let's give them one more round of applause for what they're doing in their service. There will be a reception in the back to the right there. Louis, do you have anything else to share?
Once again, thank you all for coming. Those of you for giving up your evening to come and educate yourself, I just want to give you a round of applause for showing up. Thank you. Well, they gave me a workout here, throwing that mic, so you got me. But just one more thing, we did have Mayor Ray Leon show up, and just wanted to introduce him. He is going to be available in the back for a meet and greet, and so make yourself out through the back door to the right. And again, thank you very much for being a part of tonight. Thank you.